having somebody there who's not just looking after the figures or making sure that the figures are okay, it's somebody who actually cares about the future of the business and our goals and our strategy and actually our personal goals as well as our business goals, and a company that's really going to push and drive you to get your business to the next level. So it's not just about the numbers and the balance sheet and the P&L, it's about the whole company and that company being successful and everybody within that company being happy, which I didn't really knew existed actually from an accountant. I thought it was just a numbers thing, it was just bits, numbers on a piece of paper, and it's a lot more than that.
My name's Anne Gardner. I'm joint owner and client service director of an advertising agency based in Bath. Initially, a couple of years ago, when we didn't own the agency, is that Alice and I were doing very much day-to-day work, servicing the clients. We got called in, and David had, it was completely out of the blue, got called downstairs into the boardroom, and Rob said, do you want to buy your shares off David? It was just as simple as that, Clear Vision, Rob, it's not anybody else, it's Rob that actually sort of instrumentally got the process going, really. And I think it's all about relationships and people, which I think is important as well as servicing. And he really was, we owe him where we are today, basically, apart from getting us there. But he was definitely the instrumental person to get us into a dream that I wanted, which was to own an advertising agency.
We were, when the opportunity came via Rob to buy David's shares and therefore the two of us own the company, it was something almost that we hadn't dared think about. We were in a position where we both knew that we'd like that scenario to happen, but we certainly wouldn't have approached David about it ourselves. So Rob really orchestrated the whole thing, and he's always been very good at managing the relationship between me and Anne and David, and if there's ever been any kind of stressful situations, he's been great at sorting everything out between the three of us and making sure things don't get out of hand, basically. So he's very good at being the mediator. Our association with him had come via David, but it never felt as though that was was skewed in David's favour. He was very, very on the side of the business, and he could see that Anne and I could do it and were going to be able to take the business forwards. So he was very, very reassuring and very supportive.
We agreed the deal. We got the financials out of the way, what our deliverables were, what our targets were, and then he got our families together and said, look, this is what it's going to be about. And I think that was really important for my particular husband. He knows I work very hard, and to then see a vision of 3 years of owning your own agency and the responsibility of doing that, it was an easier process.
Yeah, so the buyout was over 3 years with a lump sum payment to begin with, and then a monthly payment for 3 years. We were able to make a top-up, an extra payment at the end of year 1, and then we've done the same thing at the end of year 2, so we've completed in 2 years rather than 3, which is lovely, because having secured on our homes, the whole deal, it was very emotional, very stressful, not even so much for Anne and I, but for our husbands as well, our families, who'd been completely supportive. And actually Rob really helped with that as well, because he spoke to us as families as well as from just a business perspective, and he understood what everybody was putting into it, both financially and emotionally. So they felt really reassured by that too. And when we took control of the company, Rob was very keen that we became more structured, that our employees were our team and not our staff. That was a really big thing for us to culturally get our head around, because it was such a big change. And so he really helped us to put systems in place so that the whole team felt that they were on board and part of a bigger thing, that it wasn't just us driving the business, that they were coming along with us, that they could contribute and feel rewarded. So we put in team bonus systems, and yeah, that we could feel that people were developing, they could feel that they were developing, that they knew where we were going to take the business, and that they were helping us to get there. So everybody played their part, and that was completely different to the way the company was run before. And the difference in the feeling of the business now and the way it was 2 years ago is unmeasurable.
It is a completely different agency. We have a happier team. We have, we've just agreed to meet up at the beginning of April on a Sunday, everybody together with our families to have lunch together. Never would have happened. Nobody wants to see each other at the weekend, and it's because it's just a warmer place. And I tell you one thing that has made a real difference is actually hearing laughter. At 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm at my desk and I hear laughter down in the studio. Never happened before. And that to me is a really big thing for me. I think it's that discipline of this is what you need to deliver for your business. This is your strategy to delivering the business. We then tell the team that this is what we're going to do, and we've got to do it. And I think that's, Clear Vision gave us that sort of structure of what you've got to do. This is what you've got to do for your clients, this is what you've got to do for your team members, this is what you do for the financials. So it's all tick boxes, And then after 18 months of hard work, suddenly it just happened. It just happened. The laughter happened.
I think it's very easy for us when we're so hands-on involved in the business day to day to actually lose sight of what we're achieving. So we always come out of the board meetings thinking, actually we're doing really well. This is good, isn't it? And we feel a bit, pumped, and Rob gives us, a bit of a pat on the back, and it's a bit, it feels a bit kind of childish really. It's like, you need that reassurance. But I think because he's obviously coming from very much from a financial perspective initially, and then, so what we do is look at, yes, the numbers are good, we're happy, that's all great, and then how's the business actually doing in terms of, are the clients happy, how are we developing, where do we want to be, how are we going to get there, and all of those things have really helped us to see the future of the business basically. And I think because of the nature of the business that we're in, we've really recognised what we need to do to protect what we've got. So, we're heavily involved in newspapers, the circulations of newspapers are going down. So whilst that's our core, we need to shift into TV. Okay, great. How do we shift into TV? And so he's really helped us not just have ideas, but think through how we're going to then get there.
What we did was we took over a business that we knew, but we only knew on day to day. We just knew how to do a media plan and buy short term. We know how to work with clients. And your business is bigger than that. And you need somebody to come in and show you that and show you the path really. And you can't do it all in one. It's taken us 18 months to feel really comfortable about the business. And that's by having initially monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, and out of and it's never a long list. It's just very concise what Clear Vision tell us to do. And it just makes so much sense. It's methodical, clear thinking that you don't have time on day to day, and just have that time out that office. And to have those meetings, they've been invaluable to us, definitely. We talk about everything, and we talk about our families, and we talk about, Rob's given me a hard time about not getting home on time, and we were having a Christmas lunch, and he was talking to my husband, and my husband said, I don't see her very much, and come in January for the 6th of January meeting, he said, right, you need to get home at 6:30. It's like Rob and his team are a part of Attinger Jack. They're that extended, third party supplier outside the office. But they know our business, they get it, they understand it. We know. I think now Clear Vision has delivered us to a level, and we've got to keep on that level. And I think it's important they're still with us in terms of being there, making sure. But also they will bring new ideas that we don't think of because we haven't got time to think of. And suddenly some left field will come in a board meeting, Robert said, well, why don't you do this? And you think, yeah, we should have done that.
I think the team at Clear Vision come across as being family isn't the right word, but everybody seems to pull together, and if there's somebody who is not there and you need help from them, then somebody else will help you. I think as soon as you walk into the building, it's very warm, it's very welcoming, everything seems to be thought of, right down to the range of drinks that are on offer, to the fruit on the table, the pens and the paper being there in case you haven't got them to hand. It's everything seems to be thought of. I would say it's a thoughtful company, caring company. Having somebody there who's not just looking after the figures or making sure that the figures are okay, it's somebody who actually cares about the future of the business and our goals and our strategy and actually our personal goals as well as our business goals, and a company that's really going to push and drive you to get your business to the next level. So it's not just about the numbers and the balance sheet and the P&L, it's about the whole company and that company being successful and everybody within that company being happy, which I didn't really knew existed actually from an accountant. I thought it was just a numbers thing, it was just bits, numbers on a piece of paper, and it's a lot more than that. I think if you want a bit more than an accountant's, then choose Clear Vision.